Moroccan sentenced to 3.5 years in jail for insulting Islam on Facebook. A 23-year-old Moroccan-Italian woman was arrested in the Rabat Saleh airport in Rabat, Morocco, in May 2021 after returning from France. She was charged with insulting Islam on a Facebook post she made in 2019. People on social media were quick to defend the woman, highlighting her right to criticize ideas or intellectual criticism. At the same time, many people heavily criticized her for insulting Islam. Morocco's Penal Code, Article 2675, prescribes a penalty with a sentence of 6 months or up to 2 years in prison. On June 28th, the woman was sentenced to 3 years and 6 months in jail with a fine of almost $6,000.
Wow. This is Morocco, guys. This is supposed to be like one of the less aggressive, less Islamic, more secular, more moderate Arab Islamic countries. And this is what you get. Rivka knows about this, actually.
So she posted this 2 years ago when she was living abroad, and it was supposedly an error of posting a satirical version or translation of the Surat al-Kathar, the short verses. And apparently she changed the name to something allegedly provocative. And so she was arrested when she got back off the plane from France. And these charges were brought by an Islamic society or group within Morocco and against her. And according to her father, she didn't know what she was doing. She doesn't read Arabic. It was an error. But I, when first saw this article, a lot of the comments that I saw on some other news sources that were, oh, good, she deserves it. There's a limit to free speech. So there was a lot. There was also people saying this is ridiculous and she deserves to, express herself, or that it was an accident, all these things. But you notice how they said that the penal code is up to 2 years, but it can go further, I think 5, if you use media. And that's the thing. So
try to get her with some additional cyber crimes legislation.
Well, what it is that anyone who offends Islamic religion or the monarchy, the kings, you can also go to jail for that. And I've heard about that too. Or incites territorial integrity. I'm not exactly sure what they mean by that. Stiff fines and prison time. And also you get more of a sentence if you use some sort of media online or publish it, these sort of things. So then the sentence is stiffer. And they've put other people, they have arrested other people for insulting Islam in the past as well. And I think that, the family said they were going to appeal this. So we'll see if what happens at that point. But her father is saying, she's completely broken up. They've ruined her future. The penalty increases to a maximum of 5 years if the offense is committed in public or via electronic or online devices. So it's not just that you do it. You get extra punishment if you do it where others can hear or view it or see it or, be corrupted by it. And this is the country that prides itself on having what they call the soft Islam.
Yeah, well, that's actually one of the reasons why I want to cover this, because I know you're very knowledgeable about Morocco and have been there many times. How often is this a thing? I don't get the impression that there is as much of a cultural fervor around it as a place of Pakistan. Well, obviously that's the extreme, but
yeah, not to my knowledge. And the thing that I have noticed though, which is interesting, in Morocco in particular is that in the coffee shops and around people that I'm talking to and my family and friends, there seems to be more of an openness, more of a wanting to and a willingness to discuss aspects of religion, the antiquated laws, the ones that need to change. Because Morocco, you can go to jail for adultery as well. So there's some of these things I've noticed since I started going there in 2008, that it's become amongst the populace, it seems to me, the people that I'm seeing to around and talking to, more open. And maybe this is a reaction from the government to try and crack down on some demands for more freedoms. You know, there was that whole movement, Stop 490, which was the adultery one. And there's movements, there's been a movement for years repeatedly to get rid of this part of the penal code as well.
Wait,
But the king thing is very big. Like, nobody says anything bad about the king. That I notice is very, everyone's on, you know, shh, don't say, you know.
do we cover what the insult was? We don't know, right?
Yeah, Rivka was saying that it was like a kind of a satirical or parody of a surah, but then also noted that she's not that fluent in Arabic or doesn't completely understand it. So
it wasn't even something
fully understand it.
So it wasn't even like our type of insult where we go full on, not like full on, like it wasn't like Muhammad is this and that.
I don't exactly know. I know it was supposed to be satirical or a parody, but I do know that supposedly the title that the people writing a lot of these articles are saying that the title of the, you know, surah had been changed to something that they said was provocative. So there may have been whomever actually wrote it, or what she thought she was right. You know, there may have been an intent to be provocative if someone else wrote it and she didn't understand it and reposted it.
Yeah, it's they are going to appeal or try to appeal the sentencing. She's Moroccan Italian. I don't know what the status of her citizenship or alliance legal affiliation to each country would be, but I'm hoping that if she does have an Italian citizenship, then the Italian government could hopefully advocate on her behalf.
Which is again shows like how unvaluable your Moroccan citizenship would be. Like Italians should, like, if she is a dual citizen, I hope like Italy could come and show how much more valuable their citizenship is compared to a Moroccan citizenship. I do want to address this very quickly. Dia saying this is really sad. Facebook used to be a place for people to connect, now a place for people to get arrested. This has nothing to do with this has nothing to do with Facebook. This could have this has nothing. It just happened to be on Facebook. Like, this is Moroccan government issue, not a Facebook issue right now. Like, Facebook did not cooperate or anything with Moroccan. Like this, if she posted this publicly anywhere, it would have probably had the same results, right? Like, so I don't think this is a Facebook issue. Rivka, go on.
So I'm just looking up some more of this, trying to answer your question. And there is one article that is an Italian news, and they say, and I don't know how true this is because they got one detail wrong that everybody else had, but that the parody was in praise of alcohol. Like, it was a Quranic verse that had been parodied to be in praise of alcohol.
Wait, isn't that the same one that Abdullah Samirano made, the bad whiskey, like made a Quranic verse that like sounded like a Quranic surah, but it was actually like a bad whiskey? I think that's the one that she might have. Rivka, I don't know if you know that you're muted, but I think that's the one that she must have shared then, because there is one. Rivka,
it's Surah Al Kathar, Kawthar. I'm not sure how you would say that.
Yeah, but There was a
That's
made-up
what
one.
they're saying there, so whatever that might mean or doesn't mean if you speak my Arabic isn't.
Wait, is it kafir, like as in unbeliever?
It doesn't, I don't know. This is according to the article, that was the surah that they were making fun of.
Anyways,
I just
okay.
Googled Surah whiskey, and there's one article that says Surah al whiskey leads to a girl in prison in Morocco.
It is that one.
It could be.
It could be that one. See, I knew. Well, we're not sure, but if it is true, then I knew it. Yeah, but that's such an innocent, like, oh my god, insulting Islam. Oh, such crybabies. Like this is like not even that big of an God damn it. Like, wow, I wonder what happens to me if I go to Morocco. Like if you consider that to be an insult, geez, goddamn, chill.
Well, you're not a Moroccan citizen. I think that's where they feel like they can
right.
If you're a citizen of Morocco,
they would just deport me. Yes.
Or they would just, ignore it because you're not. People always will say, well, you're not from here. You don't have to abide by some of these.
I do think they would deport me. I don't think I would go to jail or anything. I think they would just deport me.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, UAE did that in Dubai. They deported people. People who were working there, like people who have had residency. And there was a chef who was deported from UAE for his views on Islam. But yeah, they don't get prison or anything like that. But anyways,
I just found what she posted. Like, people are referencing this as the offending post. But maybe someone, if you know Arabic, you can tell us in the comments or the live chat if this is actually the whiskey surah.
Wait, actually, Ritsuko is bringing up a very interesting point, because there's a verse in the Quran. No, bring that back up. I was going to talk about that. There's a verse in the Quran specifically challenging everybody to bring verses like the Quran, like even a single verse, right? And this is Allah challenging humans to be like, if you think that the Quran is not a miracle, then bring something like it. Like, well, they're just responding to the challenge, right? And like, so Ritsuko is saying, Islam says, I challenge you to make a surah or ayah similar to the ones in the Quran. Challenge accepted. Islam, blasphemy.
Apostate Prophet had a video about this, about like the absurdity of the challenge of the Quran, because then there are prescriptions against like those who attempt the challenge. Like,
right. I mean, okay, to be fair, other gods act the same way, right? Like Apollo, right? This guy was really good at music, and Apollo was butthurt over the fact that a mere mortal was challenging him in his music skills. So he challenged him to a competition, and the judges of the competition were Apollo's family. So rigged judging criteria and all that's completely biased. And obviously Apollo's family voted for him. And what did he do to the person on our side, the human that was so talented for God to feel challenged? He flayed him. Apollo flayed him alive. Right? So it's just a God thing, guys. It's just a God thing. Like, they challenge you and you accept their challenge, and then they punish you for accepting the challenge. All right, go on.
Suha is confirming that yes, this is the whiskey surah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Wait, so are you saying that Abdullah Samir created this parody?
No. Abdullah Samir was responsible for making it go viral and all, I think. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this. Yeah. All right. Wait. Highlight some other comments while I bring the next news.
Okay, let's see.
Was this done in Georgia with the fiddle? Oh yeah, a lot of people. Then later, Apollo went down to Georgia. Hey, maybe the whole idea of this devil like challenging somebody to a music deal, maybe that came from the Greek mythology from Apollo, right? Also, Athena also challenged another mortal into weaving, right? Is that how you say it? I don't know. But every time a mortal thinks that they're better at something than gods, then the gods show up, and the consequences are not good for the mortals.
It's a lesson
Anyways.
in hubris.
Yes. Well, it's a lesson in God's inability
Or
to accept
authoritarianism.
authoritarian. Yeah, I would say tyranny.
Could
Anyways.
be like a archetype to show people like, look, this is how you don't act, or this is how people with power who are hypocrites act, or things like that. Sometimes that's what a lot of those stories are also kind of teaching.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of blasphemy and sexy Callie, like me, then you need to be sure to subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description below. Because if you subscribe, we will send you a free copy of our blasphemous art ebook. And let me tell you, it is the tastiest blasphemy that you can find anywhere available today. And we are so generous with our blasphemy that we continue to send you more blasphemy every week. So make sure to subscribe, link in the description below.